Buffalo on the road at Miami of Ohio. The Redhawks are 8.5-point home favorites, and this game carries an over-under of just 39.5 points. It kicks off Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2, and it's a win and in with the MAC championship with Miami of Ohio. Or if Ohio gets, Ohio Bobcats, that is, gets toppled by Central Michigan, then the Redhawks will be playing Toledo in Detroit. Avion Smith, the quarterback, he's a much better runner than a passer. He only completed 8 of 17 passes against Akron. Raises a couple of red flags for me at the very least. He did rush for 52 yards, though. As a reminder, Brett Gabbert out for the year. Miami's been doing okay offensively without Gabbert, but it's clear Avion Smith is not Gabbert. Gabbert is a much better quarterback, and I do think that they sorely miss him. But we do know what this Miami offense is about. Run the football and shut opposing offenses down. They've been pretty good at that, considering they've allowed 21 points just once in MAC play. For Buffalo, there's a pretty clear divide when you look at their wins and losses. The average power rank, for my aggregated power ratings, that is, in their wins for Buffalo, 127th. You can't get much worse of an average than that, if you ask me here. And then if you're looking at their losses, an average power rank of 64th, plus they lost to FCS Fordham. So very clear divide of Buffalo's not very good. They might be 3-3 in MAC play, but they're 3-7 on the year. They will not go bowling, as far as I know, at least. They're 102nd in points per drive, which is down from 62nd last year. They did turn over their offensive coordinator this last offseason. Needless to say, they are severely missing him as well. And in MAC losses this year, they're held to 12.3 points per game. Now, going against a Miami defense that's been playing as well as it is and is as stout as it is, I do want to look at Buffalo's team total. You can find it at 14.5, but their implied team total is 16 points. This is actually a play to the under for me. I believe more in the Buffalo team total. I would take under that as well. I don't see how they get to 14 points against Miami, who's capable of shutting teams out, worse teams out, and I believe Buffalo is a worse team. And also the Redhawks on the other end, they run the third slowest pace in the country and are down their starting quarterback. So if I'm playing anything on this game, even at 39.5 points, that's low, but I'm still playing under.
Yeah, Brett, you're saying that's your play, and my numbers, they tend to agree with that. Both of these teams' respective defenses are currently power rated the best they've been all season. And while both are playing well by their respective standards, that doesn't mean they're equal, kind of as you alluded to here. I have Miami minus 13.5. And yes, the Gabbert not explicitly accounted for, but that's starting to be implicitly accounted for here. And even if it was, like Gabbert got hurt last week, I don't think he's worth 5 points to the spread here. So my numbers do like Miami to cover this one if we're going to a side in this game. It's an 83% win expectancy for Miami. Ranked number 73 in my power ratings, Miami is the best team in the MAC East. The Redhawks have the best offense and the best defense in the division as well. Like, this is the team that they are, and they should be on top of this division by my numbers. But it's the defense, Brett, as you mentioned, that's really been the story for this team. They rank number 31 in my unit power ratings. It's truly an impressive unit, and they're likely to give Toledo fits again in Detroit, as they did in Oxford just a few weeks ago in a tightly contested loss for the Redhawks. For Buffalo, it's been a disappointing season. You kind of touched on that. I mean, when you lose to an FCS squad, it's hard to not, but that aside, the whole season as a whole, the Bulls are in the top 10 of my underachievers list with 2.2 fewer wins than my projected wins in the regular season, my preseason realistic expectations projected for this team to this point of the season, I should say. The Buffalo defense should be pretty evenly matched with the Miami offense. I talked about the defenses being the stronger units here, but I do expect the Miami defense to stifle the Bulls offense, which I have right now number 119 in the country. As you said, Brett, this is a win and in situation for the Redhawks, and I think they'll wrap this one up here at home this week. Bottom line, Miami minus 13.5, just a 17% chance that Buffalo wins in Oxford for the first time since 2015, Brett.
Yeah, and I know I brought this up on the show a couple of times. It'll get brought up inevitably during bowl season that Chuck Martin doesn't go for fourth downs and he runs a slow, methodical offense. It's not a modern offense for sure, but it doesn't really need to be this year because the defense is so darn good. And the other thing that Chuck Martin does do is he does get the most out of his players. This is a team that perennially overachieves expectations. Here they are again with the chance to be able to lock up, first of all, to go 8-2, which is outstanding. for this team, and then a chance, obviously, to go to Detroit. So I do believe in Chuck Martin's team. I like your numbers there, but in such a low-scoring affair, I don't think I'm laying the points with the favorite, but I am playing under the total.
You said they overachieve annually, Brett. Right now, they're number 17 on my overachiever list, so they're doing it again this year.
There it is.